Tonight on News 5 Live, a tropical storm watch declared for Belize. Nemo warning of heavy rains that result in destructive flooding. What you should do to get prepared before it makes landfall tomorrow. And rain or not, the Tracy Panton-led Alliance for Democracy plans to hold Unity Convention on Sunday. But will it be a waste of time? And what happens after? That's coming up. In Belmopan, opposition members argue among themselves in the ongoing UDP drama. Stay tuned because these stories and more are coming your way in just 60 seconds.
Sbarro, the original New York pizza you know and love. Sbarro's extra-large pizzas are handmade fresh daily with San Marzano-style sauce, 100% whole milk mozzarella on a hand-stretched 17-inch dough. Available whole or by the slice, so you can simply fold, eat, and repeat.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, October 18th. I am Sabrina Daly. A tropical storm watch has been declared for the Belize, Corozal, and Orange Walk districts. As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, potential tropical cyclone 15 is heading directly to central Belize. With maximum winds of 35 miles per hour, the system may strengthen into a tropical storm, with winds up to 50 miles per hour before it makes landfall on Saturday. The biggest concern is the expected downpour. Up to 8 inches of rain could hit northern and central Belize, bringing a high risk of flooding. Strong gusts will whip up rough seas, so mariners are urged to seek safe harbor immediately. Coastal flooding is also possible in areas north of the storm's path. Residents from Dangriga to Belize City are advised to stay on high alert, as the storm watch could be extended southward. According to Chief Meteorologist Ronald Gordon, this system has become more organized, with a 70% chance of developing into a tropical depression or storm.
We have been closely monitoring the potential for development over the southwestern Caribbean Sea from the early parts of this week and throughout to this morning. The system has become better organized and currently has a high chance of becoming a tropical depression or a tropical storm before reaching Belize or the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico tomorrow morning. Currently, the chances are 70% of it becoming a tropical storm or depression. Regardless of whether the system becomes a tropical storm or depression, the main threat from the system for the country of Belize is going to be heavy rainfall, and that activity has already started, but we are seeing outer bands of showers and thunderstorms moving across the country from this system. And those are expected to continue throughout the evening and tonight and intensify into tomorrow morning. Rainfall estimates at the moment are for about 4 to 8 inches, the higher end. And based on the current trajectory, the highest amounts of rainfall will be in the extreme north of the country.
NEMO is urging everyone, especially those in flood-prone areas, to have emergency plans and supplies ready. The organization has put district offices on alert and is coordinating with vulnerable communities to prepare for the potential flooding. As of now, schools and airstrips will remain operating as normal. They remind everyone that it's still in the peak of hurricane season, so it's crucial to stay informed by following official alerts only. We spoke to NEMO's National Emergency Coordinator, Daniel Mendez, on this.
The EOCs in all our districts are having planning meetings with their members in preparation for the potential flood and wind risk. So we have also been reaching out to all the vulnerable communities in the north. This has actually begun. We have been speaking to the communities and the leadership of the communities, informing them of the potential rain and wind. And we have started to work with them to ensure that these preparations are in place. So all of our districts are actually meeting between now and 3 p.m. At the national level, we will be conducting a planning meeting with all of the national liaison officers here at the NEMA headquarters in preparation for any activation. All the preparation, we have stocks in place in all the district offices. And our personnel will be on standby over the weekend. Impacts. So I really want to stress to the public that if you are in one of these vulnerable locations, if you are in a village that is at risk for flooding, please keep on monitoring and please be prepared to implement your action plan if this should occur. We also are recommending to all residents that we need to start looking at clearing up drains and doing everything we can to minimize any potential flooding to your property.
We'll be tracking the weather of the weekend, and you can find updates on our channel5belize.com website and social media pages. NEMO's hotline is 936. The internal power struggle within the United Democratic Party, UDP, has reached a boiling point. With the Alliance for Democracy led by Albert Area Representative Tracy Tager Panton taking center stage this weekend. For months, Tager Panton and her supporters have been organizing what they describe as a special unity convention. That convention is set for this Sunday and is to name Tager Panton as the UDP interim leader. And as the UDP's internal war continues to play out publicly, it's clear that Tager Panton is not backing down. The alliance claims they have the support of 17 constituencies. Tager Panton says that despite efforts to discredit the alliance, they are pushing full steam ahead. But in a hypothetical future, let's say that the alliance gets the number of delegates. Let's say that Tager Panton is voted as the so-called interim leader. What happens next? They don't have the keys to the UDP headquarters. Will they storm the building? The official party's position is that Panton and her crew are no longer members of the UDP. The Unity Convention does not have the blessing of the UDP's executive, and as such, the UDP won't recognize it. So, will that convention be a waste of time and resources? We asked Tager Panton.
We have not been removed as members of the United Democratic Party because you cannot unilaterally or arbitrarily remove anybody from the party. There is a process that is outlined in the Constitution that tells you how members are removed. That process has not been followed. You can't declare us to be not UDP. The Constitution also says very clearly that 25% or 1/4 of the delegates of the National Convention at any time can convene a National Convention by petition. We have superseded that threshold. That threshold is 132 delegates. 232 delegates signed that petition. I want to assure the Belizean people that everything that we're doing on Sunday is we are following the letter of the Constitution, because we can't say that we're taking action because the democracy of the party is being eroded and then act on ultra-virus to that. We are following the Constitution, and the Constitution of the party allows for inclusion. It allows for voices of dissent. It allows for a participatory approach to making decisions within this party. And all of that has been thrown out, disregarded, dismissed. And when you don't agree with the current leader of the opposition, he silences you. He removes you, as he has done today, from the House committees. He removes you from the internal committees of the party. He removes you from the chat groups. That, my friends, is not democracy. It is not what democracy looks like. It is a dictatorship. I'm very confident that we will supersede the threshold. It's a simple majority, 50% plus 1. That would be 265 delegates. And I can tell you, as of today, we have a delegate count of over 300. We are not throwing anybody out because we don't have the mandate to do that. We will get the mandate on Sunday from the highest decision makers of this party, which are our delegates. And when we are given that mandate, we are going to follow the mandate.
If the Alliance for Democracy succeeds in naming Tracy Tager Panton as interim leader and her supporters attempt to storm the United Democratic Party UDP headquarters, UDP leader Moses Shine Barrow says the police will be called in to maintain order. Barrow says that Alliance's event is not recognized by the UDP. He stressed that the party already has an elected leader and executive in place, none of whom support the upcoming convention. Barrow denied any claims of intimidation toward delegates.
We had tried to refrain from legal action, but it is not a UDP anything. So these people are an entity unto themselves. And while they are expelled members, former members of the party. Whatever they are doing has absolutely nothing to do with the UDP proper, so it is not an accurate factual description to refer to these people as the UDP. So whatever the People's United Party does, or the PNP does, or the Progressive Party, or the Alliance Party, is of little concern to the United Democratic Party.
Why didn't you file an injunction to stop this convention? You are the executive of the UDP.
Well, legal advice and political advice. The only injunction that we could have filed was for them not to use the name. But there is no concern of a threat, of a viable threat. People, you can't stop people from gathering. So the only thing we could stop them from using is the name, and that option remains on the table going forward to stop them from, using the name.
What makes a convention, though, is the presence of delegates. Do you suspect that there will be a number of UDP delegates present there?
We have to be rooted in reality. As upset as Belizeans may become, if we all decide, 100,000 Belizeans decide to go out and vote, it doesn't matter unless the elections are actually called. We can't have a citizens' elections. Even in the instance where Boots Martinez submitted a recall petition to the Governor General that was rejected. He could have a recall election if he wants, but it would have no legal impact. So at the end of the day, the rules are the rules. The Constitution of the United Democratic Party is the Constitution of the United Democratic Party, and people don't exist in an organization in an orbit unto themselves. You have to conform to the rules and the Constitution of that organization, and when you act outside of that, then you become another organization, and we wish you well.
Opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow has replaced Tracy Panton and Patrick Faber on all House committees, following a motion passed today in the House of Representatives. The 13 committees play a crucial role in reviewing and amending legislation. Barrow nominated himself, Hugo Pat and Denise Sistaby Barrow to fill all 13 committee positions. This is another chapter in the ongoing rift within the United Democratic Party, with tensions spilling over into the House of Representatives. Today's debate on the changes was heated, which only added to the party's internal drama.
I would have to say, whoever is responsible, that it is an asinine decision. So I make the appeal to him, and I make the appeal to all rightful, right-thinking supporters of him. I don't know if many of that exist. I see my colleague from Corozal North has gone, disappeared. Can't face the music of what his leader is doing in here. Shameful. We have to stand up for what is right. Have to. And so I make the appeal to him to do what is right for the Belizean people. If you have any iota of respect for the Belizean people and for this process that we call democracy, what he's done in the UDP is enough. But now he brings it to this honorable house.
For the record, for the last 4 years, the member from Collett and Albert have rarely ever attended any of the House committee meetings, Madam Speaker. The record would reflect that their attendance at the House committee meetings has been very poor. In fact, the member from Collett lives abroad. He spends most of his time in the United States getting this elusive PhD that he has been getting ever since he resigned in disgrace. And, he's talking about petty and vindictiveness. He's the reason I am sitting here. I am a first-term junior, and you, sir, if you are so brilliant and you are such a statesman and so great, you would be sitting here. You had your opportunity, and your opportunity has flown away because of your behavior.
Tracy Tager-Panton, the area representative for the Albert Division, also shared her thoughts following today's debate. Panton was recently removed as chair of the Joint Public Accounts Committee, a body formed in 2021 to oversee public spending. The committee includes members from both the upper and lower houses. Panton describes the removal as an attack on democracy.
It is an attack on democracy. It is a travesty and a black eye delivered by one man. I said in my presentation that we are elected to sit in this house to be the voice for the voiceless. And when you remove us from being a part of the socio-economic framework that includes coming up with laws and making decisions in the interest of the Belizean people, do you know what happens in effect? You silence the Belizean people who don't have a voice. There is no place for a dictatorship in a democracy. And what we witnessed just a few minutes ago is a clear indication that we're moving to a dictatorship if we allow this to prevail. The records are here at the National Assembly, and I urge you to ask for, and you can, it's public record. I've had 14 meetings of JPAC, more than any administration have ever held on both sides of the political divide. We've had 3 public hearings, and I have had to be present at all meetings. I don't take my role as a representative frivolously. It's an important function of our democracy. And so, as I said, the records are here at the National Assembly. The only time I've had to absence myself from a committee meeting is when I have been incapacitated because of surgery.
Coming up, the family of Santiago Siao Jr. speaking out.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says that Jesus was declared to be the Son of God with power according to the Spirit of holiness by the resurrection from the dead. During the time of the French Revolution, a man began a new religion that he considered to be a great improvement over Christianity. He only had one problem. He could not gain any followers. And so he asked Talleyrand if he had any suggestions. Talleyrand dryly said, "Mr. Lepault, to ensure success for your new religion, all you need to do is to have yourself crucified, then rise from the dead on the 3rd day." The resurrection of Jesus is living proof that Christ truly was the Son of God. It was this very truth that brought the Apostle Paul to become a Christian. He had thought Christ was dead until that day when he heard the voice of God. He responded by saying, "Who art thou, Lord Jesus?" And Jesus responded, "I am Jesus, whom thou persecutest." It was a living Christ that changed his life and millions of lives of others. He will change your life if you will but hear his voice and invite him in to your life. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Nowadays, I don't know why women feel like they always to fix the man. Baby, stop it. You don't know Bob the Builder. Because she done saw everything where he do wrong. And how he that a generator a stress in a she life. All the nights with tears because he no got no understanding. The days where he grind she gears. And you feel like the man drill a hole in her heart. The measure of pain where she gone through. And she still feel like Baliko tighten up. I know they say you can't fix on a relationship now. I just say make you get the right tools. So come get ready. The Belmopan Aggregates and Hardware Customer Appreciation Sale for October 21st to the 26th. You could come in and take advantage of any discounts and get ready for fix things. Thank you.
Are
you a dynamic and charismatic personality with a passion for storytelling? Do you have a unique voice that captivates audiences and a talent for bringing stories to life? We are looking for fresh faces who are energetic, engaging, and natural in front of the camera or microphone. If you are passionate about acting or voice work, we want to see what you've got. To register, email producer@channel5belize.com or call 670-6068.
Well, sir, I really did go through some stress with my barber. This man here, they push my hairline way back to the 90s. Sure. People, they call me BB Buck Farid now.
So I got a problem, right? I just do this photo shoot, and I want the best photo shoot. But somebody don't want me to post it up. I just tired of this, man.
And I want to tell her to catch me on my way. I stopped at the shop and tell the lady I want $5 tacos. You could imagine when you give me? No. Paper.
What the your problem?
Honestly, life good for me over here. I just upgraded to the Digi1 Elite. I have unlimited postpaid plans, DigiTV, free home phone, and the fastest home internet.
I going to upgrade mines now.
It has been less than a week since Santiago Ciao Jr. was laid to rest following a long battle with a debilitating bone condition. As previously reported, Ciao retired in March 2023 due to medical unfitness resulting from a workplace injury in 2009. After numerous doctor visits, he was diagnosed with avascular necrosis, which caused him to miss work for extended periods. Ciao reportedly faced repeated denials for invalidity benefits from the Social Security Board. Despite his appeals, he said he received a late notification, which prevented him from making a timely second appeal. On Thursday, the Social Security Board issued a statement clarifying key facts in Ciao's case. Today, News 5 spoke with Santiago Ciao Sr., who refuted the line of events that the press release stated.
On the 30th of November, my son told me, he said, Dad, I just got a call from social. That was in the afternoon. It was a Thursday. It was in the afternoon, but almost 3 o'clock. He said, they got a letter for me at the front desk of Social Security. I tell him, man, maybe we'll pick that up tomorrow morning, which was the 1st of December, a Friday. And I took him. And when he received the letter, and we opened the letter, this is the letter that we received. See the date.
November 4th, a month prior to that.
Good. Almost a month. How in the world can we appeal when they gave us this letter? 5 days, they called him 5 days after the expiration date.
They gave him 21 days according to...
Yes, according to the letter. But we did not receive this. You should have received this letter so that we could have appealed before the 25th of November. We received this letter. The call came the 30th. And when we pick up this letter on the 1st of December, which was a Friday, that is when we realized that it was the result of the appeal that the lawyer, if you see, it was addressed to the attorney. How can we appeal? And then that get my son depressed, frustrated. He said, but how can I appeal when the date don't expire?
In its press release, the Social Security Board stated that Ciao Jr.'s beneficiaries are entitled to claim survivor benefit. We asked the family if they intend to claim these benefits. Here's what they had to say.
The turning around, they do it with my daughter-in-law right now for that survivor benefit. The turning around social given right now. They want this, they want that, they want it. Man, the request for the certain information, those information was given to them. You know? So I don't know what's it turning on whatsoever. The fact is that I think my grandchildren do something.
Okay, so how much kids is he leaving behind?
2, a boy 10 years and a girl 15 years. And they are both at high school. Well, one in primary school and one in high school. All I want to say is that I hope that someone at the Social Security Board have souls with them and to look after the kids of my son. I mean,
do you put any responsibility in the government as well?
Well, the government had spoken to us, given some information, and we are looking forward to see what will be the outcome of that information that they gave us.
So something is undergoing?
Well, yeah, we spoke and they said they'll see what they can do. But as yet, nothing. The Treasury Department cut off the pension right away and they say nothing for the kids, nothing for the wife.
For the past few weeks, we have been reporting on election fraud, allegations made by UDP standard bearer for Cayo North, Omar Figueroa. He claims that more than 100 voter registrations during the transfer period are fraudulent, pointing to unspecified and overcrowded home addresses as evidence. Figueroa, accompanied by the magistrate, visited several of these addresses for further investigation. The magistrate then decided to forward the case to the High Court, leaving no determination yet. So for now, all 101 voter transfers will remain in their original constituencies until a final decision is reached. The transfers were from several constituencies across the country, including Belize Rural Central, which is represented by Dolores Balderramos Garcia. Today, reporters asked her if she was concerned.
That I will not comment on the politics of it, but I will remind you that I am the duly
elected still, yes?
I'm the elected representative, but I am also the standard bearer for the next election.
Yes.
Having gone through an endorsement convention in July, I will give no further comment. You go and look at the numbers and see the amount of work that has been done in Belize Rural Central for the transfers during the transfer period and the ongoing registration of 18-year-old and new voters. You go and look it up.
The Auditor General position has been vacant for 6 weeks, and today the government recommended Deputy Auditor General Maria Rodriguez to temporarily fill the role for the next 4 months. Prime Minister Briceño stated that during this time, the government will search for a qualified candidate to permanently take over the post. He also mentioned that GOB is collaborating with the IMF to strengthen the office's functions.
As we all are aware that the Auditor General, previous one, was already retired and we had to bring her back in, and her time again has come to an end, and so we need to be able to appoint another one. And as the resolution states, it said the Governor General acting on recommendation for both houses. We need both houses to be able to help us for this one. I want to be clear, Madam Speaker, that the notice went out for a qualified person to fill the post of the Auditor General, and we hope that this process will be concluded by the end of the year. Again, I know a lot of people get excited about it, but we are trying to do our very best to be able to get a qualified person. Even within the office of the Auditor General, there are challenges as to who best can fit this post. So we believe that the best way to do that is to advertise it, and the people in the office, they also can also apply for that post. It's going to be an open and transparent post. We have no hidden agenda. We want to ensure that we get the right person. We have agreed, and some say it, and I'm sure the opposition will say it, that this is one area that we have to strengthen. We are working with the IMF as it is right now, Madam Speaker, to find ways of how we could strengthen the auditing, the Office of the Auditor General, and also to bring up all our accounts up to date.
The opposition expressed concern over the fact that the Office of the Auditor General has not released an audit report in nearly a decade. Opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow claims the government is deliberately undermining the office's efforts to avoid financial transparency and oversight. Here's his take on the matter.
The Office of the Auditor General is the supreme audit institution of Belize that plays a crucial role in the holding of the government accountable when it comes to the stewardship of our public funds. It is difficult to accept the Prime Minister's presentation that this is not deliberate, Madam Speaker. It has been 4 years. Prime Minister lamented back in 2021 when Dorothy Bradley retired, and he was forced to reappoint her in 2022. Where is the plan for succession, Madam Speaker? And you may be instinctively tempted to say, well, it's incompetence. I would not say so. I believe it is deliberate, Madam Speaker. If you have a dysfunctional Office of the Auditor General, guess what happens? There's no accountability. There's no accountability for a government that is spending billions and billions of dollars. There is no transparency. There is no good governance.
After the break, how data users seek to improve data collection and why you should care. But first, here's the latest on the weather from the Belize Met Service.
The Statistical Institute of Belize, in collaboration with UNICEF, informs the public that they will conduct the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey starting August 26th for approximately 14 weeks. During the survey, trained interviewers will visit randomly selected households nationwide. Each field worker will wear a mint green t-shirt with the Mix 7 logo and an official photo identification card. We thank you for your participation. For more information on the Multiple Indicator Cluster Survey, call us at 822-2207. The Statistical Institute of Belize, providing Belize with quality, objective, and timely information.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize, it's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
La formación del Centro Neurológico del Hospital Galenia es que esas enfermedades que son altamente complejas y que muchos de nuestros pacientes tenían que emigrar hacia otra parte de la República u otra parte de México ahora puedan ser atendidos aquí.
La atención quirúrgica en el centro neurológico se forma dentro de un grupo multidisciplinario que incluye tanto neurólogos, médicos internistas, ortopedistas, neurocirujanos, pediatras. Y este esfuerzo que se ha realizado para conjuntar todos los especialistas es para siempre brindar al paciente un abordaje multidisciplinario y transversal.
Evidentemente, mientras más rápido podamos llegar al diagnóstico de los pacientes, más rápido podemos tratarlos, resolverlos y por ende mejor resultado vamos a tener al final. Entonces creo que la prioridad y el fundamento principal de un proyecto como este es justamente eso, que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados con un tratamiento completo, integral y oportuno.
Y las visiones desde diferentes perspectivas nos permiten tener pues el mejor tratamiento y la mejor opción para el paciente.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
There's an old proverb that says, "He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything." We showcase that hope from discussions on health and wellness, climate change, and updates on NCDs and a lot more. Stay tuned to Caribbean Medical TV.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
In observance of Caribbean Statistics Day, the Statistical Institute of Belize, SIB, hosted its second annual Data Users Conference in Belize City today. The event featured presentations from various data-driven organizations, highlighting the SIB's work and how statistics can be utilized to enhance their efforts. While statistics hold great potential, the conference also addressed both the strengths and weaknesses within the system. News 5's Marian Ali attended the event and filed this report.
Today, agencies and organizations that deal with data collection and dissemination had representation at a forum organized by the Statistical Institute of Belize. The event had three objectives: to raise awareness of Belize's national statistical system, to demonstrate how data can be used for policy and research purposes, and to look at the future of data in Belize and data innovations for production, use, and dissemination of data.
A lot of work has been done to enhance the quality, the type of statistics, the range of statistics that we do, timeliness and our modes of dissemination. Those things are some definite strengths.
Diana Trejo is SIB's Director General. She said that focus has been placed on enhancing the service, but there is still room for improvement in others.
Obviously, there are a lot of data gaps that we recognize, and these are in some very key areas, things like climate change, data on vulnerable populations, persons with disabilities, LGBTQ persons. We know that there are some definite data gaps that need to be addressed. Even with respect to our ability to produce the SDG indicators, we are still not even halfway there with those indicators. We don't have a formal mechanism for coordinating ourselves, and so because of this, we haven't yet been able to establish things like national standards for statistics, national classifications and concepts that we all adopt. But I will say though that these weaknesses, these are the things that we have taken into account as we are developing our new national strategy.
Trejo projected that the system will have been improved over the next 5 years. A major part of that improvement necessitates the assistance of the UN. Since several of its agencies, funds, and programs rely on Belize's statistics, particularly from the population census, it is willing to help in the process. Hiro Balani is the head of office of the UN Resident Coordinator in Belize.
We're looking at some of the future of data with some of the UN agencies, you know, the use of artificial intelligence, big data in Belize, how data users can really expand. But interestingly, we have signed, as you know, in March this year, a new project with the Statistical Institute of Belize. It's called the Enabling of the Statistical System in Belize, and it is being implemented by 5 UN agencies, including UNDP, UNICEF, FAO, WFP, and UNFPA. So this is really a proud achievement, because what we're doing is really bringing together the technical expertise from all of these agencies to support the building up of the national data ecosystem for the future.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
About a month ago, News 5 conducted random interviews regarding inflation, revealing a disconnect between public perception and official statistics, which indicated a low inflation rate. However, today, Diana Trejo from the Statistical Institute of Belize acknowledged that inflation is indeed rising, with prices of goods higher than they were 2 years ago. She noted that while prices are increasing, the pace of that increase has slowed.
What we are seeing in our data is that the rate of inflation, meaning how fast prices are going up, has been slowing. This doesn't mean that prices are coming down, and that's a very important distinction. It just means it's not going up as fast. But if you compare the price level or the CPI 2024 to 2020, before the pandemic and pandemic-induced inflation, prices overall are about almost 30% higher than they were 4 years ago. So it is very true that while the speed at which prices are rising is slowing down, prices are still much, much higher than they were 4 years ago. In particular, food prices, the inflation for food has been persistently high. The underlying causes of why prices are rising for these items, we are not at this point able to say that, although we do know that we import the vast majority of the goods that we consume. So if our trade partners are seeing higher rates of inflation, we will see that trickle down to us. And when our trading partners see inflation slowing down, likewise, it trickles down to us.
But what about products that are locally produced? We have the vegetables, we have meat products that are done right in Belize, and the prices are also going up on those.
Yeah, one of the things to remember is that all of these products that are produced in Belize have inputs that go into them, and a lot of the inputs are also imported. A lot of them, for example, fuel is an important input. For the agricultural sector, fertilizer is an important input.
The population census that the Statistical Institute of Belize released earlier this year indicated far lower numbers than what was actually projected before the data collection event took place. Today, Diana Trejo explained what could be the factors that have affected the actual numbers.
With respect to the population statistics, I know that this is a particularly touchy one because our previous estimates were much higher than where the census showed us to be in actuality. But we do believe that what we are publishing now is much improved from what was estimated prior. It is well in line with what we see in terms of data from the Ministry of Education, in terms of their intake and cohort sizes. Year over year, the Ministry of Education has seen that the intake is shrinking, or at least the growth in their intake is slowing down. It also corresponds with what we see from the Ministry of Health. I believe just earlier this week there was a report that the number of births for last year was the lowest ever recorded. This is right in line with what we are seeing with the slowdown in terms of population growth. One of the things that we definitely saw was a reduction in the size of our not migrant population or foreign-born population. And I do think it's very possible that a part of this can be because when the pandemic struck, persons left the country, persons who were here perhaps working left the country, and they didn't return subsequently, or they didn't return by the time we did the census. We recently published our village or community level population counts from the census, and the reason why this came out so far after the main findings was precisely that, because we wanted to establish or agree upon a set of working boundaries for each of these communities with the relevant government agencies, so that when we allocate households to a particular boundary, we are all speaking about the same community.
While Belize's unemployment rate remains officially reported at 3% or less, the real number of unemployed individuals is significantly higher. Today, Diana Trejo, Director General of the Statistical Institute of Belize, explained that this low figure stems from the fact that many people who are not working are not actively seeking employment.
The labor market is tight at this time, and that is reflected in our data. We had an all-time low of 2.8% unemployment last year, I believe it was, and that was pretty much reflected in the experiences of employers. Employers are having a hard time recruiting enough people to fill the vacancies that they have. The agricultural sector was suffering from a shortage of labor, and just generally, this goes along with what we are seeing in our data. Now, one important thing to note is that not everyone who can be a part of the labor force is actually in the labor force. Only about 55% of persons who are of that working age of 14 and above actually participate in the labor force. So we have a very large chunk of our population, working age population, who are not at all participating in the labor force. At one point, we had a sizable number of persons who we classified as the potential labor force because they're not working, they're available, but they're not looking.
When we return, $20 million for the DFC, but will it benefit you? Stay tuned.
Take control with My Social Security, your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. To create a My Social Security account, you must be 14 years or older and have a valid email address. Visit the My Social Security self-service portal at ssbportal.org.bz. Click on Create Account. Enter your date of birth and phone number. Next, verify your email address to continue. To verify, simply enter your email address and click the Send Verification button. Enter the verification code sent to your email inbox to proceed. Next, create a password that meets the requirements. Enter the name and select a reason for your account. Then click Create. Your My Social Security account was successfully created. Your information security is our priority. If you have a Social Security number, click Link My SSN to link your Social Security number to your account and activate using the steps in your confirmation email. If you do not have a Social Security number, click Register with SSB. You are now ready to truly experience Social Security at your fingertips.
This is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connection. Pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
They'll name you 100 reasons to step back. But when you achieve your goal, they will follow you. Gorilla, make some noise.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to the National MSME Roadshow 2024. Join us for free workshops in marketing using AI, finance, business planning, and customer service. Connect with financial institutions for access to finance opportunities, meet with key government agencies, and showcase your business at the Roadshow Expo in an effort to get more locals to buy Belizean. We will be in Orange Walk Town, June 13th to the 15th, PG, June 27th to the 29th, Corozal, July 11th to the 13th, Benque, July 25th to the 27th, San Pedro, August 15th to the 17th, Kikocker, August 23rd to the 24th, Belmopan, August 29th to the 31st, Hopkins, September 13th to the 14th, San Ignacio, September 26th to the 28th, Tangriga, October 10th to the 12th, Placencia, October 18th to the 19th, and Belize City, October 24th to the 26th. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Beltrade or call us at 880-3737. Sign up today for the National MSME Roadshow. Let's get your business on the road.
The Briceño administration is borrowing $20 million from the Caribbean Development Bank for the Development Finance Corporation, DFC. According to Prime Minister John Briceño, the new line of credit will support DFC's ongoing lending program. The Prime Minister broke down the figure during today's sitting of the House of Representatives in Belmopan. He explained how the $20 million will be utilized, while noting that the institution has loaned over $120 million over the last 4 years.
This motion is to seek this honorable House to approve the government guarantee of $20 million. This new line of credit is intended to support the DFC's ongoing lending program. And this is the breakdown that we want to do. For the productive sector, for small businesses, we want to set aside $18 million, Belize dollars. For residential mortgages, $9 million. For education, $9 million. For renewable energy and energy efficiency, $4 million. Madam Speaker, I'm sure that the Minister of Education will be the first to tell you the tremendous need there is for education assistance to our young people. We have a lot of very intelligent and very young people or students that want to do more, that want to study, and in some instances, well, it's impossible for them to meet it just from their own resources. As a government, we have been providing millions of dollars.
Opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow criticized the Briceño administration during the debate on the $20 million CDB loan motion, stating it cannot be trusted. Barrow likened Prime Minister Briceño's praise of DFC's achievement to, quote, Lucifer explaining how to become an angel, end quote. He also suggested that education loans should be more accessible, with a repayment plan starting after students graduate.
Hearing the Prime Minister from a PUP government talk about the DFC is like Lucifer telling us the criteria to become an angel, Madam Speaker. The DFC, I quote Evan Exhide's Amandala, when they had the Commission of Inquiry under former Prime Minister Said Musa, and Brother Hyde's quote was the felons, that stole hundreds of millions of dollars from the DFC under a PUP government, the Musa Briceño government, Madam Speaker. So while the opposition supports capitalization of the DFC, Madam Speaker, while the opposition would look forward to the capital injection in these sectors, we have great reservations when it comes to the People's United Party and the DFC. You know, could be why we don't have an Auditor General, could be why we've had an Auditor General office not functioning. I'll get to that on the next motion, Madam Speaker. But this government is not to be trusted.
Under the Belize Blue Bond for Ocean Conservation, the government of Belize is required to designate up to 30% of its ocean as biodiversity protection zones. So far, 20% has been protected. The agreement mandates that 25% must be secured within 3 years of signing. Today, the Briceño administration proposed expanding protected ocean space by 5%, designating it as medium protection biodiversity zones. However, the opposition raised concerns, stating that fisher folks fear this move could threaten their livelihoods.
One of the concerns I would like to bring to you is from the fishermen. They feel that all of this conservation is hurting them. So the more and more you conserve, the less they are able to earn a living. And it is a legitimate concern that has been expressed by my colleagues, the standard bearers, from the different constituencies that have an abundance of fishermen.
Belize has international commitments, it is true, but we also have commitments domestically to support our people. And this expansion of 5% is in medium biodiversity protection, and which means to say rather than protection, it's basically conservation, because it affords, through the medium biodiversity designation, for fisher folks to be able to fish in those areas and to do other types of extraction comparable to the high biodiversity protection, which is no take and has no extraction.
In the Albert constituency, we have fisher folk in the Conchel Bay community, and they have been completely locked out, if you will, in the communication, in the consultation processes. And so I would like to urge the minister responsible to kindly take a look at that when it relates to looking at expanding areas for conservation, because indeed the fisher folk in Albert are concerned about how this continues to impact their livelihoods.
Up next, in this week's Look on the Bright Side, Herring individuals embrace sign language education for greater inclusivity.
Today marks a milestone for Keekauker, one that is both timely and essential. As we all know, our beautiful island has seen significant growth over the past years.
Long gone are the days that we wait for the problems to come to us and we deal with it. And I want to applaud BWS on this initiative. They demonstrate the good corporate community responsibility that they demonstrate right here.
Notably today, we are inaugurating a state-of-the-art 150,000 gallon reverse osmosis desalination plant. This is a $1.5 million investment which ensures water security for Keekauker for the next 15 years. BWS intends to invest an additional $48 million, and today's groundbreaking marks the initial step in turning what is this board's vision and the government's vision into a reality.
This is more than just an investment in infrastructure. It is an investment in the people, the community's health, and the sustained development of Keekauker. We all know that access to clean water is not just a necessity, it is a right. These projects reaffirm that it suits everyone who calls the beautiful island home.
In recognition of the patience and support from the residents of Keycarker, BWS will award 30 primary school students and 3 high school students with an educational grant to assist with their school fees.
Today now, with this new 150,000 gallon reverse osmosis state-of-the-art system, reactor will be producing about 300,000 gallons of water. And as we expand up to the north, we get more people coming to Belize. I suspect in the next few years, we need to be able to do another expansion to ensure that we can keep up with the demand, that in the next 20 years, we're still going to have water for the good people of Keycarker. And they went a step further. They're not just providing you water that is safe to drink, but water that tastes better. And you have it here in this cup. I could tell it's good water. So I want to take the opportunity to commend the board of BWSL and Minister Shabat, who is at the helm, ensuring that we can get this done. So we have to ensure to see how best we could plan to make sure that we can get the best services available to the people of this country.
At BWSL, we make it happen.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me in Belize. BWS, we make it happen.
At the Life Company, we understand that life can be demanding and fast-paced, so we've made it easier for you to contact us. Wherever you may be, and at your own convenience, you can now access our services through our social media platforms. RFNG Life is pleased to introduce our new LifeBot service. Request a quotation, make premium payments, speak to a customer service representative, and more from right where you are in the palm of your hands. Visit our website or Facebook page or WhatsApp us at 671-5143 to try out our new LifeBot service today. RFNG Life Insurance, the Life Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you've been waiting for. In this corner, we have the masters of limitless power and unbeatable connections, pioneers of 4G LTE in Belize. It's the undefeated champion, Smart. And in the other corner, struggling to keep up, it's the other guy. Fight! Tired of getting blow after blow from a plan with the other guys? It's time to tap out and join the winning postpaid plan provider. Smart's postpaid plans are a total knockout to the competition, and they have once again powered up their postpaid plans. Sign up for one of Smart's boosted postpaid power plans today and experience the victory of superior service. Smart, bringing people together.
In our weekly segment On the Bright Side, we continue to explore unconventional forms of education. So far, we've highlighted virtual learning spaces, where online education is making strides at the primary level in Belize, and examined the Montessori approach, known for encouraging independence and confidence in children. This week, we focus on a long-standing, yet often underappreciated form of education that plays a crucial role in serving a specific community: sign language. As a vital tool for communication and learning among the hearing impaired, we take a closer look at the process of learning sign language. Here's a story.
Next.
On Friday afternoons in Belize City, Stella Maris School buzzes with activity. as students participate in various clubs designed to promote their growth and practical skills. In a small classroom, teacher Cherie Turton-Gillett works with hearing-impaired students, introducing them to or enhancing their understanding of sign language.
Shake up. Shake it.
Turton-Gillett is on a mission to teach hearing-impaired students the language of the deaf, sign language. She is a special needs educator for children with diverse abilities. Although the institution caters to students with various disabilities, Turton-Gillett recognized that inclusivity could be taken a step further. Recently, her latest venture has been the inclusion of teachers and other students.
My reason here to have the sign language classes is to allow teachers and other students to communicate with those who can't hear so that they can feel accepted and comfortable enough to share whatever they need to share, because it tends to get a bore and they get frustrated because they can't communicate with others. You know, even though we can't hear, to me it's important for us to learn their language so that they can communicate with us. And for example, since I have only one hearing impaired student, I would like him or her to know if they're understanding what I'm teaching or how is it at home, you know, stuff like that.
I'm standing in one of the busiest commercial places in the heart of the old capital. Mikado Textile Palace is not only known for its quality in fabric, but also its progressive initiative in hiring special needs workers. When walking through these alleyways, you'll likely be interacting with hearing-impaired persons, limited to signing with each other, or when interacting with customers, writing on paper to speak to you. But how much better would it be if we actually knew their language? Shane, Glenn, how are you? Good? Wonderful.
On a daily basis, we have basically 100 customers walking through our door. We have Mr. Glenford and Shane that the customers interact with, whether it's with a pen and a piece of paper or with their phones. They would assist the customer, with curtains, comforters, bedsheet, anything that they need, or even helping them backing a roll. There are few customers that comes in that do sign language. We try to understand Glenford and Shane, whether it's been by a piece of paper or some of the girls in here, they're also learning the sign language through them.
Both of these gentlemen would have passed through the learning system at Stella Maris and are considered great examples of what inclusivity can look like for persons with diverse abilities. Cherie Salgado, another teacher at Stella Maris, urges everyone to learn sign language to improve communication with the hearing impaired and promote inclusivity.
It's very important for us to spread the word of persons who are hearing impaired, or we call them deaf. It's not only for those persons, but it's for those people in the society in a whole. Persons who will be able to communicate with them. So you don't have to be deaf or hearing impaired for you to learn sign language. What I have to say to the general public in a whole, if you see a student or a person who is hearing impaired, it's not hard for you to learn a language. You have to be interested in want to know how to communicate with these students, and that's the reason why we embark on this sign language course that Ms. Thornton is doing right now, so that we can invite others to come in and learn a language so that they will be better able to communicate with these persons living with hearing impairment.
And while Turton-Gillett is working overtime to equip her student body and colleagues with the ability to communicate with the hearing impaired, she also extends an invitation to the general public to learn sign as well. Whether it's for personal development or to add support to those in need, her message is clear: inclusivity. She firmly believes that everyone deserves to feel included, regardless of their abilities or limitations.
It's just simply classes. Most of the time, I'm willing to give classes, to help them communicate with those who can't hear, or, just to have them know something else on their, job description or skill. I mean, I find that it's more needed now than ever, because there are more hearing impaired students just coming up and coming out more. So we need to equip ourselves at least with the basic science.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.